Hey, this is Dave Spitz, owner of Head Strength Coach, California Strength. We're getting a lot of questions on the website about the snatch pull, and in particular, we're getting questions about how our athletes focus on staying back in the power position of the snatch. So one of the things that I'm going to go over today is what the power position ideally should look like in the snatch pull, and then how to focus on achieving that position dynamically. So as the bar accelerates above the knee into the power position, what things to focus on so that you're in that position every time. In an ideal power position, what we want is a vertical posture with the head and spine at neutral. The bar makes contact with the hips above the pubic bone and just below the hip bone. The feet are flat on the ground with the knees slightly bent. One of the things that we like to encourage athletes to do is start with this position with the weight focused back on their heels, because the first thing that they're going to want to do is roll forward into the snatch. So from here, all we ask the athlete to do is jump and catch. So without a counter move, everything operating from those large prime movers, through the glutes, through the lower back, through the hamstrings. Go ahead, jump and catch. So a triple joint extension, meaning ankle, knee, and hip. All triple joint extensions are not created equal. What we're trying to achieve is, from his power position, what we want to do is utilize those prime movers first, so the hips come through the bar, and then that final extension of the ankles will finish the top of the pull. But we want to create the power from the ground by utilizing the engine for force in our body, which is our hips. Common indications that the pull is not being executed from the right muscle groups are bar path going forward and the corresponding jump forward or hop forward that occurs, or bar going forward and the athlete being strong enough to swing the bar behind them and lose the bar behind them. One of the things that I think is beneficial is if you just try and eliminate the athlete's ability to execute from the wrong muscle groups. So if we start with something as simple as a couple pieces of plywood and we sneak the toes off the end of the platform, now the athlete cannot execute the pull by extending at the lower leg first and then bringing the hips through. The hips must come through first. So we'll jump and catch from the same power position. So that exercise off of the plywood is a great way to make sure that the muscles that we want to be recruited are recruited with the right sequence. Now the second part to this question is, how do we stay back? How do we achieve that power position correctly? So if you go to the power position, again, vertical spine, weight should be situated back on the heels, and now we come down to below the knee, which we refer to as position 2, with a hamstring stretch, the shoulders articulated out over the bar, weight should still be on the heels. Now from 2 up to power position, all we're going to do is pull the chest up. So we're only operating from the hip joint. You can see the knee angle is fixed. So from the power position, the knee angle is fixed down to position 2. So all we're doing is working from the hip joint to pull the chest up and to squeeze the bar back into the body. The lats are subtly recruited to be able to squeeze the bar back into that position, come back down to 2. The hamstring stretch reflex helps us accelerate the bar up into the power position. So the weight stays engaged on the heels, the power position is developed, and then we simply jump and catch. So final thoughts on achieving the correct power position from a dynamic standpoint. Make sure that from number 1, we work backwards. The power position is correct and that the right muscles are recruiting at the right time and on the right twitch rate. Number 2, coming down from a position just below the knee, make sure that the weight stays engaged on the heels, the lats are recruited, and the knee angle stays fixed. The hips are the only joint that we're working from to bring the bar from the knee up to the power position. Another variation would be on a Bosu ball. So coming down to do a push-up on a Bosu ball, exploding up off of it, bring the ball to your chest, try and land back on straight arms.